I went from 2019 bringing in 400 and something thousand dollars to, in 2020 my reported income was 55K. It couldn't be more legitimate.
I have a buddy who was trying to do a movie with George Santos, and actually met with him a few times.
What?
And he was going to do he was trying to get George Santos to agree to do a documentary. I don't know if you saw on MSNBC yesterday. Ari Melber had on Blake Zeff, who is my buddy in question, and they released some of the recordings, because Blake was recording his conversations with George Santos. And it's really good. You should check out some of these recordings. I don't even think he released them all. This guy, one of the recordings they released was him like mocking his Jewish constituents. Another one, I don't know if they released this one.
With an impression. He does an impression.
With an impression, yes.
Yes.
I don't know if they released this one yet, but I've actually had to keep quiet on this for a while. I've known about this for a couple of months. And one of them is, I don't know if this one was released yet, but one of them is George Santos really thought that this was going to happen. Like he really thought nothing was going to happen to him, that he was already talking about running for president and everything. Like he thought this was smooth sailings, and he was just going to become a big like political star and everything.
Is he that
listen
divorced
to this one.
from reality? Oh my!
You sit in a room with a lot of Jews, you're it's funny when the isms start coming out, right? Oh, he's such a mensch, she's such a mensch, and then they go on to the next thing, and it's like, oh, that's a punz, and it's really bad. But anyway.
What the fuck is he talking about? I don't even know if I'm supposed to be offended. What are you saying?
Yeah.
I'm trying to.
I guess you got to read it.
I have to understand.
It sounds like he's making fun of his Jewish supporters, is what I'm getting from this.
As well as his imaginary Jewish heritage, by the way.
I hate people who are not even funny with their prejudice. Like, I don't even get the joke. Like, I feel like it's done. Like,
here's another one. Oh wait, 1 second. What the hell?
The most amazing thing, though, about this whole thing is that the documentary was never going to happen, because every time Blake tried to meet with him to convince him to do this documentary, George Santos would say, I got to figure out, if I did agree to this, I need to figure out a way to get paid without any red flags. And he told Blake that he expected, I think he probably has it in the recordings too, he expected he'd be paid millions of dollars for this documentary. And when Blake was like, I don't pay, he was like, well, I'm going to hold out for Netflix then. They're going to give me millions, I bet.
Oh my God. This guy.
Netflix better give him a big fucking bag. He's absolutely fucking correct. And they will. And they fucking will. I'll raise the money. I want to see that movie, okay? What are you talking about? Yes, they will.
So this one's about, so apparently one of the, I think this is part of the indictment, that he qualified, or he tried to qualify for unemployment when he doesn't actually qualify for it. But I guess this is him discussing this.
So the way I look at it is, they're not understanding. The question is simple. George, why was your income $55,000 in 2020, and why is your income drastically higher? Well, here's the answer to that. We struck a deal with the company so nobody went unemployed and got reduced to like a very basic salary, just so as we called it, livable wages in the company. So we can get by, because our industry was capital introduction vis-a-vis conferences, vis-a-vis speed dating, all that in private equity, and managing limited partner, general partner relationships and investment groups. So long story short, I went from 2019 bringing in 400 and something thousand dollars to, in 2020 my reported income was 55K. It couldn't be more legitimate. I actually qualified for unemployment.
Quote, I qualified for unemployment. This is
that's amazing.
Yeah.
And he's just telling this. Does he know he's being recorded? Like,
yeah, he collected $24,000 in unemployment. It is just genuinely insane. For months, he was saying, because every single week, like if you've ever been on unemployment, you have to say, yes, I'm still eligible. I'm looking for work. Like in Oregon, we have like certain requirements. We've got to look for work. Every single week he lied. Like it's it's genuinely astounding that this man thought that he was like going to go on to be president and like have this huge political career. It's, I mean, when you look at the climate and you see figures like Donald Trump and whatnot, maybe he had a reason to believe that. But I mean, still, like, bring it down, come back to reality. Like, this is ridiculous.
I don't know how you keep track of them all, honestly, when it comes to him. And I'm like, half the shit that he's that he's claiming that he's done in his life. Like, if I had one of those, just one of those monstrous lies, like my mom died on 9/11. No, she didn't. I have Ukrainian Jewish heritage. No, you don't. I was the producer of the Spider-Man musical. No, you weren't. Right? Like, just one of those, I wouldn't feel confident ever being like in public where I could get questioned about it, you know?
Yeah. Oh, didn't he say he created carbon capture also?
Yeah,
like,
he did claim that. Yeah,
of course he did. Of course he did. Well, someone had to. Come on, someone had to.
So this is another one.
What are they entertaining, kind of like monetarily? Just look, I don't have a number in my head. Like, the fact that I'm having these conversations, these are conversations I never ended up going here, so I would be having. But when in Rome, let's have the conversation. A lot has changed over the last recycle, so over the last 6 years. So from 18 to now, a lot has changed. The ethics committee has allowed so many things, and it's been bipartisan and across the aisle. So I think this is a different time in Congress where they're understanding that this is just going to be a new way of doing things. What are they?
Okay. This is just this guy.
Yeah. It's I mean, like, I feel like, it's not sort of, he got indicted, so it's like, what more? But I feel like these recordings really do lay it out in the open, like, exactly. So there's no question, really, what his thought process is on a lot of these things.
Sorry. This is one more. This is the one you're talking about him running for president. I got to hear got to hear this delusion.
It's not a thought that I haven't had. Let me make that very clear. It's not a thought I have not had. In light of all the mishigas and all the freaking frenzy and fanfare over my FEC filings, until I can get all that squared away and put it to bed, the sheer thought of me opening an exploratory presidential committee would break all the rules.
Right. Like, I mean, the idea he'd even consider. Oh, the only reason I'm not running for president yet is because of all of this drama going on. Otherwise, exploratory committee is formed. Right. Yeah.
Like, it's one thing. Like, Trump is one situation because we're talking about like a celebrity for like 50 years. Everyone knows who. It's a different thing. George Santos. There's no constituency. Like, no one's running to the polls for George Santos. Like, it's so delusional that he thinks because he's been in the headlines that all of a sudden he has this ability to run for president and be successful. It is just the sheer delusion is mind-boggling to me.
The double standards too, right? Like, could you imagine if a Democrat had one of the 47 different George Santos lies? Like, just one, and any given one. My mom died on 9/11. The Ukrainian Holocaust survivors. You name it. Just pick any one of them. Also, it sucks about the dog. That's why I'm like, I used to love the idea of George Santos. I thought he was like, Santos Claus. Like, if you believe in him, he's real and all this kind of stuff. But like, then it turns out he's a fucking asshole. So he's like taking the money that was like crowdfunded to save a dog's life, and then the dog died, and he just kept the cash. Like, what a monster.
Yeah, that was when he was dead to me officially. Like, I was okay with it. I thought it was funny, but you can't do that. Like, dogs are precious, and for you to do that to an innocent animal, yeah, I feel like he should be in the gulag for life.